Hey y'all, what's up? I'm Amy, aka the Pisces here, and this is one of your daily collective messages. Like, and subscribe if you get anything out of this. Thank you so very much to those of you who do like, subscribe, and comment. It is always and forever going to be loved and appreciated. God, archangels, ancestors, ascended masters, cosmic guides, all beings of the highest and purest white light, only with the best interest of me and the collective at heart. You are always and forever welcome into my readings. Okay, please give my wonderful, fabulous, and amazing Piscean Seer family the best and most accurate information for them at this time. Welcome to any new subscribers, okay? Welcome to my beautiful subscribers who are already here. I love and appreciate each and every single one of you guys. Thank you so very much for coming, and thanks for coming back. So this is a Leumerian message, okay? So I got a flying rocking horse because I watched Alice in Wonderland again, but it was a different one from the one that I covered before, it was like completely different, okay? It was the more newer one, the one that came out in 2010 with Johnny Depp, I think. But anyways, so I googled the flying rocking horse symbolism, okay? It says a flying rocking horse can symbolize different things, often blending the concepts of a rocking horse and a flying horse. In a literal sense, a rocking horse symbolizes childhood, innocence, and a resistance to growing up. Adding wings can represent a desire for freedom, a connection to the divine, or pursuit of higher aspirations, as seen in myths like Pegasus. Combined, a flying rocking horse might represent the bittersweet tension between innocent childhood and a powerful adult ambition, or a yearning to escape earthly constraints while remaining tethered to a childish past, okay? So you could be outgrowing some childish ways of being from your past, okay? Also getting more in touch with that innocence type of feeling, getting in touch with your child, your inner child, in order to not feel like you're just rocking back and forth in the same place, right? You want to finally take off, you want to fly. You could feel like you have certain things holding you back, but nothing is holding you back, okay? You're completely free and liberated, okay? You hold this divine power and nobility that gives you the power and the strength to do anything that you want to do, right? So don't be afraid to like take adventures, to follow your aspirations. And it's like the more you follow your aspirations, the more you follow your dreams, the more you allow yourself to grow and expand, the easier it is for you to become like untethered from those things of, those childish ways of the past or whatever. This right here says mirror, mirror, okay? So it says facing yourself in others, reflective relationships, self-awareness, and what you see is you. So, I mean, I feel like paying much attention to certain people at this time could be very important, to how they could be mirroring you. Maybe there's things about them that's getting on your nerves, or things about them that you feel is childish, or that you don't necessarily agree with. And they're giving me this energy of like, somebody doing something, right? And then somebody else does the same thing, and they're just like, oh, or two people that are just alike, but they cannot stand each other, right? Because there are a lot of things that those two people could stand to learn from each other, in the way that they behave, or the way that they like, exchange energy with other people. So they're saying like to be on the lookout for certain signs and things like that. I feel like this is an opportunity to increase your inner wealth, your inner worth, your value. I feel like this could also loosen up your money a lot. It could help you to attract more things to yourself at this time. Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn could be significant. Also Leo right here on the Six of Wands card, okay? And Scorpio on the Seven of Cups, okay? So, I mean, maybe there could have been some sort of like childish illusion, or some sort of childish way of thinking or being in your subconscious mind that has been like, I heard like an active running program, okay? This could be something you're currently breaking away from at this time, okay? So, I mean, it's a great thing. You're becoming more tempered within yourself, and I feel like there are just certain things that are being pushed out in order to make more room for what you really do need. Like Spirit's making room in your life for some sort of reward, and it's important that you don't be afraid to explore, to step outside your boundaries, and to see what they want you to see, or what they're trying to show you. Like, try not to be so defensive, or so like to get so upset with people on the outside of you, because I feel like spirit's using other people to show you something very important about yourself that's going to help your light shine a lot brighter. You could be a little bit too worried about what other people is doing. I'm not trying to attack you or nothing, but I'm just saying you could be a little bit too worried about what other people are doing and needing to like follow your bliss, to find the things that make you full, to find the things that you're the most grateful about in life. You need to learn a little bit more about like operating out of the energy of grace, but it has something to do with like some sort of subconscious wound, like I was saying, something that kind of makes you still feel like you're rocking in place. Or maybe when you get around like certain people, certain family members or whatever, it's like this intense regression back to like, your childhood way of being, like maybe like all of a sudden you're on the defense, or you feel like you have to defend yourself, or you feel like, you can't trust those people because, they're always quick to like make fun of you or to bring up something from your past that doesn't represent who you are anymore, But also there's like this energy of you just realizing that it's not always necessarily people picking at you or always somebody doing something on purpose to you. Like you have to kind of look at everyone as a teacher at this time in this place in life where you could be at, and just let things roll off your back, release, let things go, find out like where in your life, where in your family, where in yourself, or where in your past situations with lovers can you offer a little bit more forgiveness and grace in order for you to outgrow some certain way of thinking when it comes to you. Like I wanted to say when it comes to you being in love, or when it comes to like the way you exchange energy with other people. What's the overall energy? Like, where is their energy at? We got the Ace of Pentacles, okay? Come on. So they ready to drop that bag on you, okay? And we got Justice, okay? So they're wanting you to exchange some sort of old way of thinking or being in order to attract more of this justice, or to attract more of your blessings, Like maybe there's some wound, that says, like, oh, so-and-so, they always get everything, or like something like that. Yeah, with the Wheel of Fortune, It's kind of like this energy of placing yourself at the bottom of the wheel when you get around certain people. Like there's some sort of energy that could come with like your family or an old friend group, or like ex-lovers or something like that, that just does it keeps you from seeing your full potential. And I feel like you hold so much potential, and it's important that you don't allow people to affect you or your mind or the way that you think like that. Like you should be as tempered as possible. And it's like, if you want other people to recognize the greatness within you, or the beauty within you, or the wealth within you, or the worth that you truly carry, you got to recognize that shit first. Like you can't expect people who are quick to pick up a weapon and attack you you know what I mean, to understand where you're coming from, or what it is that's really truly valuable about you, right? Because they're people that pick up weapons to attack first are usually wounded somewhere within themselves, and they don't even know why they're attacking other people. They don't even know their wealth or their value or their worth, right? So you can't base who you are or what you're capable of attracting or what you deserve on other people's opinions of you, like that they created long ago when you were a child, and now they're still hanging on to this same idea of who you are and what it is that you have to offer. Like you have to make room for the small-mindedness of others sometimes, and you have to like overcompensate in your own energy and give yourself that love and attention that you need. Yeah, we got clout chaser, okay? Somebody could be trying to be a clout chaser in your energy. It says doing anything for attention, fame, hungry, despite desperate for followers, or anything for a like, So I mean, this could be someone who is like a clout chaser in your energy, like I don't know, maybe they downplay everything that you do, or try to talk about you like you're not a professional, or like you don't know, like you don't have as much to offer as you act like you got to offer. But look, they a secret admirer. But they really a secret admirer, okay? They got hidden affection for you, okay? It says anonymous notes, unknown interests, someone's watching, I feel like whoever this clout chaser is, they watch you very closely, and they try to look for every chance they get to like discount you or make you feel like less than, but it's like they're missing the biggest point, which is they don't have the power to make you feel less than, and chasing clout is not going to get them nowhere, like people that chase clout, they're just big old attention whores, right? That's all it is at the end of the day. They're just big old attention whores. They want everything to be about them, and they want everybody to tell them how good they're doing or how great they are, because they're not giving themselves that love that they need. They're not telling themselves how great they are, People with a lot of people with a lot of clout, they don't even like themselves, People is out here doing anything for clout, that's for sure, nigga. They out here selling out. So, I mean, this is that same kind of energy, okay? Like somebody just really, really trying to. It's like they're using their hate that they got for you, or they dislike that they got for you, like to get them some sort of clout or some sort of like attention, okay? We got ancestors protection, okay? So the ancestors are protecting you from that clout monster, okay? Yeah, it says you earned all your stripes. Period. Okay? So you don't deserve whatever it is that this person could be trying to throw your way, okay? Yeah, we got cooperate. I feel like it's important that you continue to just cooperate with the divine, to keep doing what it is that you've been doing, to keep focusing on your own growth, on severing like you could need to like cut cords, okay? I seen 1111. You could need to like, cut cords, okay? Cut cords with everybody you could think of that that you no longer talk to, or that you no longer exchange energy with, and even some people that you still talk to and exchange energy with, okay? People always talking about cutting cords like it's gonna bring, like it takes people completely out of your life, and sometimes it does if they don't deserve to be there. But sometimes cutting cords is just something very healthy that you need to do for yourself, and the very important cords that need to be there, they don't go away, okay? You can tell Archangel Micheal to cut the cord all you want, but he's not going to cut the cord if there's still something that needs to be learned from this connection that you have with another person, So just, I cut the cords with everybody I could think of, but it's just like I had a lot of energy in my energy, and I needed to get clear on like what was mine and what was other people's, like that was a really big thing. Like I really used to have a hard time blocking certain things out, but I was still angry about a lot of things. I still had a lot of resentment about a lot of things. There were a lot of things that I needed to release, that I needed to let go in order to like start really feeling into my own energy and really knowing like how the divine works with me and works through me, and I feel like you're going through that same kind of process for yourself, okay? We got buy those things you've been wanting, okay? I feel like it's really important that you like spoil yourself, or there's something about like maybe you came from a family where like you guys didn't have very much, and maybe you're like very tight with your money because you don't want to see yourself in that kind of situation again. But I feel like that's kind of a mentality of scarcity, and that could be something that comes from your childhood that you could need to like clear and cleanse out, okay? It says, yes, we are near and somewhat visible angels, so your angels and your cosmic guides, baby, they're here with you every step of the way, bringing you everything that you need. So there's no need for this energy of scarcity, and that energy of scarcity makes it very hard for you to attract things. So that's why you're going through this very important transformation at this time, being tapped deeper into like this infinite, like into the infinite possibilities, or into the infinite, like I heard into the infinite fragments of the self, okay? So it's like they're giving you, it's like you're gaining deeper and deeper understanding of yourself and who you are and how you operate in this world and how you operate with other people. And I think that's really opening your eyes a lot about like the clout chasers in your life and the people who like secretly admire you, okay? Yeah, it says, don't you know your love is so divine, okay? Like, your love is so divine, and believe it or not, a lot of people, like, really want a piece of that. It's really important that you are very selective with your energy and who you choose to spend time around and who you talk about your business to at this time. Let's cooperate and buy those things you've been wanting to buy. Like, there's a need for you to spoil yourself. Yeah, expect a miracle, okay? So expect a miracle that's going to help you spoil yourself, because there is, like, this major need to spoil yourself, okay? Like there's a need for you to like indulge in life. I feel like maybe your whole life like you've been told like what you can't do, or like, you know, when you were younger there was a lot of like, oh, we can't afford it, you can't have this, you can't do this, or you know, I hope you like, oh, you got a job, or how much money you got, you know. Like just parents talking to you like as a child you should have the money to help them, or you should have, you know, the means to help them pay for some shit. Okay, but I feel like that's a really serious wound that you need, that is being healed within you. You know, I don't want to say that you need to heal. I feel like you're very aware that you're healing these kinds of things, you know. Yoni cleansing, okay? If you're a feminine energy, yoni cleansing is a very good thing for you. Cleanses the sacral, cleanses the root chakra, cleanses your womb energy, allows you to attract things much more effortlessly. Also, it breaks any ties or anything, any like sex shame or anything like that, any sexual abuse and things like that. It really helps with those things, you know. So if you haven't done that, then I would definitely recommend that you try it. I mean, of course, you know, read the directions and, you know, do your research, because I definitely did my research before I did it. But I feel like that's a very powerful move for you to make right now, especially with these kinds of wounds that you're focused on healing, okay? What's by those things you've been wanting? And yes, we are nearing somewhat visible angels. Okay, they want me to have two. Okay, it says cultivate a rich spiritual life while working on achieving your goals. Okay, I feel like that's definitely what you've been working on doing, and you are a light worker, you know. So also, it's like the more you spread your light, the more you naturally mature, right? The more you transform and transform and transform, and also transmute and transmute and transmute. So it's like now you've done so much transmutation of like these lighter, like, you know, these more fluffier issues that come along later in life, and now you're getting like to the meat and potatoes of your healing, right? Like to the root of like a lot of the causes of a lot of problems in your life in the past, you know, and how they affect you now. And this is really powerful work that you're doing with yourself. And you know, the Leumerians really want you to continue doing this, okay? You're building a very, very healthy connection with God, okay? Because it says unfold my true radiant self, God, okay? So this work that you're doing with yourself, with the divine, is very important at this time. Believe in yourself, be the change, and there's a lot of self-empowerment coming into you at this time. You were made for a higher purpose, and it's time for you to let the past go and to have a lot of faith in this leap of faith they're asking you to take, and in yourself at this time, and know that this is taking you somewhere much better, taking you to like a more fortified foundation, okay? Excuse me. It says consume healthy foods and stretch your body daily, okay? So that could be really good for you at this time. And just know that, like, you know, they're watching you. They got their eye on you. They're enjoying the performance of your work. They're enjoying all this effort that you've been putting forth to get yourself into calmer waters, because there's a 6 on here giving me 6 of Swords energies, you know? They're really enjoying everything that you've been doing and all this work you've been doing on yourself. And there's a handful of blessings of and gifts of all kinds, okay? So get ready for that and continue to call out to the divine to help you release these things that no longer serve you, okay? Because it's really good for you. It says the universe is delivering a true offering, okay? Oh, I'm getting a little bit of a headache. You could be getting a lot of headaches at this time, okay? You could be receiving some sort of like higher chakra upgrades. It could be like affecting the way that you're thinking, maybe overthinking a little bit too much. You could be a little bit emotional. You could be doing some crying, or just like, like on a whole, I'm hearing that emotional roller coaster. Loving you ain't nothing healthy, or something like that. But the point is the emotional roller coaster, you know. I feel like you could be on a bit of an emotional roller coaster because you're doing a lot of things within yourself that you need to do, okay? You're clearing out a lot of things, and sometimes that comes with tears, and it comes with like, you know, a couple bad days or a couple hard times. You might not always feel like, you know, getting up or doing something or whatever, but just I think it's really important that you expect the best, you know, that you expect the best outcome. Like, I don't think that having a negative mindset or not thinking about yourself in the best way is a good move for you right now. Like, you need to offer yourself as much love as possible. What's ancestor protection? You've earned all your stripes and transformation. We got the Five of Cups. Yeah, that's what I was saying. So I mean, I feel like even if you are feeling a little sad or you are having mood swings, your mood could be going up and down, but I think your ancestors are really helping you, really protecting you from this, really trying to make it very clear that this is all in an effort or in an attempt to make your cup overflow the way it should be overflowing with the Chariot. You know, they're just trying to make sure that no obstacles can stop you from what you're trying to do in the future, and that's why they're saying to, like, you know, pay a lot of attention to your energy and what is being released, or, you know, are there any childish ways of being that you feel you've outgrown, or that you are able to pinpoint within your own energy that you can pray about, or that you could say some words about, or even if you can't pinpoint it, you know, call out to the divine and ask them to show you anything that has the potential to become a block later, or anything that you need to clear out, or anything that you need to express on the outside of you, you know, any old sadness that's lingering around that needs to be released. What's the Five of Cups and the High Priestess? We got the Knight of Swords. Yeah, in order for you to make this fast movement forward and to receive, you know, what it is that they're trying to give you. What's the Ace of Cups and the Chariot? We got the Six of Swords. Come on, like I said, that Six of Swords energy. They're wanting to take you into this calm water, wanting to take you into this time of celebration, you know. But there's some sort of confusion or some sort of old illusion that needs to be cleared up, because I'm seeing the Tower, you know. So you could be currently experiencing a tower, or you could have an emotional tower coming in, you know. But this is what they're saying. There's just something that needs to be healed within you, some part of your energy that maybe you've been neglecting, right? Because like I was saying with the Yoni sting thing, like, I just did that, and that was something really serious. That spirit was like so serious about, you know, like they showed me what to buy and all of these different things, you know, and then they were just like, you know, don't record, you know, like just take the time off. I didn't record, and I also didn't work, you know, I just stayed home and just allowed spirit to work with my energy. I did some meditating, you know, I stayed taking a bath for my energy and keeping my space clear, trying to make sure that nothing's cluttered, or, like, you know, making sure that I feel comfortable in the space, because a lot of times when your ancestors are uncomfortable with something in your energy or something around you, they'll make you feel uncomfortable with that thing, you know. So pay a lot of attention to that also, is what the Leumerians are saying. Like, there's something very beautiful happening in your energy though, but it might express itself or manifest as something very ugly, you know, like a clout chasing hater on the outside of you who really loves you, or something like that, you know, something that's going, some traits in others that you don't necessarily like, that could be pointing to something within you that is the reason why you don't like that. Or maybe it reminds you of somebody from your past who's caused some sort of wounds within you that you don't like, that you might need to, like, you know, throw some forgiveness at, or that you might need to face, or, like I said before, say a few words, ask spirit to remove that or to clear that from your energy, or utilize the violet flame or something, whatever you're called to do in order to, like, remove this little, like, residual energy. Okay, what's the Five of Cups, the Knight of Swords, and the High Priestess? We got gifts. Okay, so also with this clearing of this, like, old stagnant sad energy, and also of that old scarcity energy, you're unlocking some sort of gifts. Like, that's a big part of the miracle, or of the reward that's coming in toward you. Like, you're being rewarded for some sort of release you've just done, or some sort of release that still needs to be done, you know. What's on the High Priestess, the Ace of Cups, and the Ace of Pentacles? We got insight. Okay, so, you know, be wide open to the cosmic insight that's coming into you at this time. Okay, like, there's some sort of, like, past life power is what I heard. Some sort of past life power coming into you right now. What's the Ace of Cups, the Six of Cups, and the Chariot? We got curiosity. Okay, so get curious. Okay, curiosity ain't, it didn't kill the cat. Okay, it just, it might have hurt the cat a little bit, but the cat now knows that that's not the way to do things, and the cat does not dwell on that one time they got curious and hurt their foot, you know what I mean? And so maybe that could be significant too, since I'm saying that, you know. But just get very curious, work with your divine guides, and try certain different things that you might be called to do in order to make to it's like they're saying like you're able to instigate epiphanies within yourself with the proper spiritual work or the proper meditations and things like that, you know. Like you don't always go into the meditation or into the spiritual practice knowing what you're looking for or knowing what needs to be healed, but in doing that they crack up any illusions that might be going on in there, right? You're just, when you're stepping into meditation or when you're praying or when you're focusing on yourself with this kind of energy, they're able to like give you the love or give you the direction or give you whatever it is, you know, or to make something boil up or to make certain thoughts start coming out because you're open and you're receptive to that when you're meditating or when you're praying, you know. So spend a little bit of time. I almost said a lot of time. Okay, so spend a lot of time in that kind of energy right now, and just know that Spirit's bringing in certain gifts and insights. Okay, and blessings, physical ones. What's gifts and insight? We got routine. Okay, so maybe improving your routine or adding, you know, you getting deeper, connecting with the divine into your routine a little bit more. Also, this energy of like whoever the clout chaser, secret admirer on the outside of you is, they could be trying to like affect your routine, maybe trying to affect your gifts or your insight, you know. Like they could be very curious in your energy, really in your business, really trying to figure out how to send some sort of sadness or some sort of negativity toward you, you know. But if you just heal the wound that has something to do with this person or some sort of childhood wound that like makes you want to retaliate against certain people, then you'll be a lot better for it. And though it cuts off the access to certain people, right? Because sometimes our wounds act as like doorways or windows or entryways into the soul or into the subconscious because it's something we're not aware of or that we haven't healed yet. And that's kind of how like dark magic works, right? But also dark magic has something to do with like karma too, and sometimes people, you know, they deserve it and they receive it. They receive the dark magic, right? Because it's written, or like, you know, there's something in them that makes them open or vulnerable to that kind of attack, you know. So as long as you continue to do this work on yourself routinely, then you don't have to worry about your whole thing just being disrupted or you being like, you know, bombarded or just blindsided with this thing that you need to heal. Like check in with yourself a lot and continue to expect miracles. Know the power of the divine love that courses through you, and you will always be on top. You'll always have that insight, and you'll always be tapped into your gifts the way that you need to be in order to know where you're going next. You know, as long as you keep on keeping on, bitches, we won't have no problems. Okay, what's insight and curiosity? It says trickery. Okay, and that, which feels like confirmation to what I was saying, you know. Like that's one way that darker energies like to utilize trickery to attack you, right? They like sit up and examine you and watch you and try to figure out, you know, like what are they hiding, what are they burying, what is their secret, what is their secret button or their thing that I can use to get at them, to attack them or to trick them in some sort of way. So make sure that you just focus on those things within yourself, and you don't have to worry about being open to that. Yeah, we got teamwork. Okay, so don't be resistant. Okay, resistance and teamwork. Oh look, and waterproof. Okay, resistance, teamwork, waterproof. Okay, so don't be resistant to your guides or to, you know, the energies that you work with. Okay, like they make sure that everything rolls off your back, but the more resistant you are, or the less, you know, enthusiastic you are about like facing certain shadows within yourself or within your subconscious, the easier it is for you to not be able to move forward. Like it just makes things harder for them, you know. Like try to be in this light free energy where you're just soaring, where you're going with the flow and you're trusting spirit on what it is that you need to release, you know. Like release the need to be like dominant over the situation, because you have to be very open, very receptive in order for spirit to come in and work with you the way they need to. Okay, now stay low, niggas thinking. Seeing safety, yeah, look, safety, find your pocket. Okay, so The best safety pocket from attack is healing, okay? Letting the cat out of the bag in any chance that you can get, right? And then nobody can come in and like irritate that cat or that like that wound or whatever it is, you know. What's routine, gifts, and insight? We got retreat with stop the spin, okay? So some sort of way of thinking definitely has to go. What's insight, trickery, and curiosity? We got B with choose non-action, you know. So also there's this energy of you like avoiding conflict. I feel like somebody could really want to like pull you into conflict, or maybe it could be really easy to upset you, and it's like that anger issue is tied to something much deeper, you know, something that comes from a childhood wound or from that energy of scarcity. I can't tell you like specifically what it is because it's different for everybody. It's just up to you to look within and figure out what it is that your guides are trying to like point at, okay? What's retreat and B non-action? We got truth with let it show, okay? So that's what it is, okay? Yeah, we got exposed with time to come clean, and friendship with care is there, and judgmental with observe your critic, okay? But this could also be an energy of you being very critical of yourself because maybe people around you when you were younger were always very critical of you, you know, or it's like anything that you ever did, you know, it was like broadcast news to the entire family, you know, like people didn't respect your boundaries, they didn't respect your privacy, and that could be something that you're really healing from or needing to heal in a major way in order for you to be able to like maintain your boundaries or to maintain your privacy when this miracle does come into you, you know. Also, people could be very focused on like exposing you, okay, on being an instigator in your life, on trying to start something. But I feel like you're just very innocent, and it's very important that you look at yourself that way, you know. Like spirit's trying to show you something or do some sort of work with you to get you to look through fresh eyes when it comes to how you look at yourself and how you look at the kind of miracles you're able to attract, and like, you know, things that you've been through of the past. Like there's something very big that they want to show you. All right, what's the final thought on this? My nose is trying to run as usual. All right. I hear you calling me to come back. He said, I can't breathe because every time I leave, it's like a trap. I hear you calling me to come back. And that could be how this energy, like, is within you. Like, and that's why I was talking about, like, mood swings or, like, an emotional roller coaster. Like, maybe sometimes you feel a lot more better than you do in other times, you know? And it's like there's this energy, like, trying to, like, call you back to it, like, subconsciously, you know? And it's like it really needs to be cleared, okay? Yeah, we got white witch would be the light, okay? We got medicine guardian with be open to healing information, and we got heart guardian with love and let yourself be loved, okay? So it's also got a lot to do with the way that you love, the way you receive love, okay? Just be open to this healing information, and stand your ground at this time when it does come to like people on the outside of you, but stand your ground in the most peaceful way possible, okay? Like, do not give your energy away to an argument, okay? That is the stupidest thing you can do right now. You try everything, but you don't get it. So the White Witch says, take the higher road and choose the light. Remove yourself from lower energy experiences. Come on with the confirmation. It says the White Witch card. I don't think I need to read all of this, but it says no matter what is happening. No. I do need to read some of this, okay? It says the maiden is a gentle, innocent, and pure aspect of the goddess, a loving soul who wants nothing but the best for the whole earth. Here she is joined by a horned owl, showing that she is willing to respect those with more wisdom and experience than she has, but she is also willing to trust what she feels to be right within. With this card, you are being reminded of the goddess within, okay? So your feminine energy, okay? That's what you need to work with in order to get this healing done, or whatever it is that the spirit is trying to show you, okay? To be able to receive this healing information, okay? It says no matter what is happening to you or around you, you have a choice. Choose not to be pulled into dramas, bickering, or energies that are just going to limit your joy. If you are surrounded by people who are hostile toward you or someone else, or you are in a negative situation, perhaps in your workplace, you are being invited to be the light. You are an incredible person who can really bring light. So, how can you change the energy? How can you redirect the conversation to love? How can you protect yourself? How can you help the person that is being picked on? Or are you the one who is guilty of causing a drama? You will know the answers. Know also that you are being encouraged to shine the light you were born to share, okay? So that's what this is all in the name of. You opening more up to this light worker energy. You going through a transformation that is going to allow you to shine the light you were born to share, okay? But you have to do it through through spirit, okay? Like a journey inward. And this is the second reading where they were talking about going within. Um Buddha was talking about going within, okay? The reading that says sometimes you got to slow down to speed up, okay? So with that, I'm done. I hope you guys have a happy, fabulous, wonderful, and amazing day, that you got something that you needed out of this, and I will see you later, my love. Bye.